Hey, what's going on? E. Jones, bottom to the top hoops.
Black Elvis, we in the building. What's really good?
Yo, L, man. Woo, woo. We got a firecracker this week, baby. Let me get these preliminaries out the way so we can get right into it, man. I'm not here to mess around, bro. I'm here for the smoke, bro.
I'm with you.
Yo, as my man Truck Bryant would say, my energy's unmatched right now, yo. Big shout out to the Truck Bryant Show. Yo, first of all, check us out, YouTube, Apple TV, Spotify, BCom TV. Big shout out to the family, all that. We know the good stuff, right? How you feeling before we get started? I'm hyped right now. How you feeling right now?
I feel awesome, man. Ready to go.
Make sure you're staying safe. I know the pandemic is still going on. Kids is out of school. Yo, we're going to get past this, man. Let's just stick together and we can figure this out. Now, to the matter at hand, there has been much said and a lot of opinions, a lot of thoughts, a lot of facts, a lot of skeptics about the state of New York basketball. And I highlight New York and not New York City. Because when they judge us, if we got 3 kids from Albany, they still claim New York. So if they claim us, we claiming them, right?
Absolutely.
So the highest form of basketball in the world, the biggest platform, is the NBA, correct or incorrect?
Correct.
What would you say, Al, in your opinion, expert opinion, it takes to make to the NBA?
It takes hard work, it takes determination, it takes timing, it takes relationships, it takes politics. All of those things can land you close to being drafted to the NBA.
Okay. There are how many picks?
There were 7.
No. How many picks total? I just want to get.
Oh, excuse me. What, for first round? It's 30 for the first round.
So 60 in total, first and second round.
So first round, second round, 60 kids drafted in total.
Okay. So Al, how many kids were drafted from the state of New York?
7.
So if I'm not mistaken, that's somewhere around 12% of the draft picks from one state.
Mm-hmm.
Of those 12, 2 of them were lottery picks. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if 15 is lottery. I think 15 may just be outside of the lottery. So I'm going to run it down, if I may.
Please.
First pick from New York, Obi Toppin, Ossining, New York, by way of Brooklyn. Played with the New York Lightning and the New York Dragons, New York Jayhawks, a couple of teams upstate as well. Number 15, Cole Anthony, played with the New York Wrens and PSA.
And New Heights.
16, Isaiah Stewart, went to the Portland Trailblazers, and respectively, Cole Anthony went to the Magic. Obi Toppin, of course, went to the Knicks, and we will definitely highlight that with respect to what that means to the New York Knicks. The 16th pick was Isaiah Stewart. I believe he played with the City Rocks. I'm uncertain, but we can definitely fact check that.
Mm-hmm.
The 20th pick was Precious Achiuwa, Bronx, New York, Our Savior Lutheran, New Heights, St. Benedict's, Montverde, University of Memphis.
Did he ever play with you with the Dragons?
He did not.
Okay.
39th pick, Elijah Hughes. Northeast Lightning was the first team I saw him with in the 7th grade playing in my summer league.
Mm.
He's from Beacon, New York. Believe he got drafted to the Pelicans. 42, Nick Richards, Brooklyn, New York, by way of Jamaica. Believe he wound up going to the Hornets.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him playing, I believe, with a Jersey team. I know he played with a bunch of teams in New York. Big shout out to my man Dre Ricketts, who helped Nick and he played at the Patrick School and University of Kentucky. Jordan Nwora, PSA, another New York guy, and he went to the Chicago Bulls, the 45th pick. So 7 guys, 1 state, highest level of basketball. Initial takeaway, Al.
First things first, I gotta just let it be known. If you're saying New York City basketball is down, the proof's in the pudding. So it's not down. Let's get to the facts.
This was being said. We've been typing this podcast for 2 years, and that's been a recurring theme. One of our first shows with Tom Kachowski, he said, and I quote, "It's not as bad as people make it out to be." That was Absolutely. Tom Kachowski, a.k.a. the Glider.
Absolutely. And what also, and he also made it clear too, if majority of our kids stayed home, we'd have more hype here in New York.
Call it what you want to call it. We had 7. A 7-piece at KFC is going to cost you extra.
It's a fact.
Yo, man.
Yo, let me ask you, man. Come on, man. How do you feel about knowing and being affiliated and being a part in some kind of way of 2 of these NBA players who were literally drafted, which is Obi Toppin and Precious Achiuwa? Now, how do you feel, for one, as, just seeing the hard work and the grind really paying off, like just watching Obi when he got drafted, and the tears and the excitement all at the same time, man. But you was a part of that. How you felt when you watched that?
Well, I always remove myself from the situations because, again, right, the only thing I did is what I always do. Meaning, if I can help a kid get to a destination, whether that be college or the NBA, that's their journey. Whatever the kid or the family chooses to acknowledge, totally on them. I felt elated for them, right? And my role was only to be able to provide a platform, insight, information, support, in whatever way that I could to help them get to their next step. We had Precious early on in a showcase when he was in 8th grade. And we'll try to get some of that footage up, right? And I have a picture of Obi when he was playing with the Dragons. So it was a proud moment, right? I was excited for them. But, in terms of me publicly claiming what I did for any of those kids, it probably won't happen. Just because at the end of the day, that's their story. They did that. They put that work in. And if I played a small part in helping them get there, God bless them. That's where I'm at with it.
It's just, man, I commend you, man, and like big props to you, just the humility, man, of how you operate and how you move. Because let me tell you something. There's dudes that coach these dudes. One game, one tournament said, "That's my kid."
Well, the kids say it, right? The kids, when they want to acknowledge somebody or somebody special in their life, the kids, man, big shout out to my guy such and such, right? So if it don't come from them, it don't come from me.
It's funny you say that, man. On one of the biggest platforms for Cole Anthony in his life, he shouted out at the All-American game, Munch Williams, man. So that was big, man, just for you. And he said the PSA Cardinals. I said, wow. So you're right. You ain't got to force a kid to acknowledge you if they really felt you were shooting with them in the gym.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, right, that means whether it be tickets to a game or showing up to a camp or talking to some kids, like those are the things that people would expect or ask for. And then when your phone or the message goes unread, let's be honest with ourselves. These kids are in a different tax bracket. they're rubbing elbows with different people, corporate sponsors. They're worth millions of dollars, right? So there's nothing that binds them to say they have to reach back to you or anyone else. That's their story. They put that work in, and whoever they choose to reach out to or support or help, you know, God bless them. They're not obligated to do any of that stuff. So I'm very careful about, you know, just claiming affiliation or anything that I did for kids. Because again, if I can't pick up the phone and say, yo, come over here, or I need you to do X, Y, Z, I wouldn't play myself and do that and know that it ain't that type of party. You know what I mean? Like I reach out to those kids though, like I was there. I went to the University of Dayton and watched them practice, and you know what I mean? And reached out to Obi's mother to just say, you know, happy Thanksgiving, just because, you know what I mean? I came up hooping with the dad. So when Precious needed a gym to work out, he was in OSL for 2 months. You know what I mean? So those are the things. And I think those kids, they understand that. They know that. And when you see them, they show love. And that's enough for me, bro.
Yeah, but you know, man, like I said, so back to the humility in it. You know, when you look at New York as a big scope,
yeah,
the handling thing, the training thing has become so major and instrumental for kids. So, you know, like that's a big thing, man. And, you know, I'm giving you some major kudos, because for you to sit there and say that, you know, like I look back and think of a kid like Shabar Newkirk, how his dad would constantly be saying, yo, L, man, we appreciate you. And I used to always say, yo, dogs, it wasn't me on that floor. Only thing I did was film and put together a couple of highlights. When we was going out of AAU and all that EYBL, that kid was killing.
Right.
He earned that. The only thing I did was hold the camera.
Yeah, man, and you did play a big part in it, right? Because you gave them exposure and you let people know this is happening, and then you put more eyeballs on the talent and the kid, because there's a lot of kids who go unnoticed who are very talented who just don't have, you know, the machine behind them. So.
And with that being said, I just want to, you know, finish it off with this, you know, like even with those kids we spoke about, there was a lot of phone calls being made behind the scene. There was a lot of things done behind the scene that nobody would ever really acknowledge, but you know, and they know. And that's what it's all about. It's about moving us forward, man. And, you know, that's not happening a lot today because everybody's looking for, how does it help me individually? How does it help my brand? But when you look at the universe, if you truly helping kids, God's going to give you what you're supposed to get.
Let me tell you something, L. Any kid that I've helped, it was the same thing, whether you're a draft pick or you can't walk and chew gum, right? Those parents will always tell you, I did it from a place of wanting to just help, genuine intention, try to be upfront and honest with them. And at the end of the day, it was always consistent and always the same. You know what I mean? And maybe one day we'll get the kids on a platform for an interview or something, and that's good enough for me. Because at the end of the day, whatever I did then to help those kids, it wasn't with the expectation of this kid's gonna be a draft pick one day. And man, if I just, no, who knows really? I mean, you have an idea, but that's not why I help, because it doesn't change. But I appreciate it. I'm excited. New York City and New York State basketball was on full display for the country to watch. I think all of those kids will be on opening day rosters. Won't take a long time for us to figure that out.
Yeah. Yo, shout out to the kid from Seton Hall, man, and Nick signed him, man.
Yeah. Big shout out to Jalil Tripp, who played at Lincoln, who signed a Exhibit 10 contract with the Memphis Grizzlies, Brooklyn kid. So we are well represented in the Northeast and this New York City metro area. Let's just be clear, man. We talked on the show about, you know, the Malakis, the ISO Fam K, Khalil Brantley, the Jaquan Sanders, the Adrian Griffins, the Magic Mells, the Zaire Johnsons. We talk about all of this young talent, and maybe it's not culminating, because here's the thing, right? Everybody wants ESPN Top 100. We don't got a bunch of kids in there, but that don't mean you can't go to college and cook and close the gap and be in that NBA draft. So
Obi showed that.
Right? So as long as guys like yourself is on the film and training and helping, and I'm doing my part and trying to raise these next group of New York City kids, and the other good people out there who's providing tournaments and showcases and training, let's just do what we do and let's get 7 more. Because if we got 7 now in the league and we get 7 more next year, we got 14 more.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. I just feel so good, man. I felt so good for Cole, man, because Cole coming off like, how do you have like this historic run at Malloy and then go to Oak Hill and Kilton? You go to North Carolina, you've never been through surgery, you've never really dealt with major injury, and you know you about to get your shot. Yo, you have to have some strong mental for that, man. And God bless him and his family, because you know his family had to help him get through that, man.
G, you know what? Cole Anthony's a G. Big shout out to Billy and Bryce Council. They got the movie Little Ballers.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, man. And they've been with him they was there during the draft. Yo, Cole's a G because he was training in the morning with Book at Gaucho Gym the day of the draft for 3 hours. And his dad was in the gym cooling on the other side of the pillow, like, yo, this is what you work for. Like, tonight's your night. Do what you do, right?
Yeah.
And Book was excited. He's been training him for like the last month and a half, and he looks really, really good. And again, right, look at Nick Richards, man. Nick Richards
yeah.
Came out of high school, McDonald's All-American, struggled at Kentucky.
Yeah.
Everybody knew it.
Yeah.
And then whatever he did that last year, he put it together. And they were talking about him for SEC Player of the Year. That was a big turnaround. He's an NBA player right now. That is fortitude. That is taking the criticism. And that's what a lesson to these young guys. You are a player that has expectation, and you don't fulfill that expectation or live up to it, and people are starting to criticize. You have 2 choices. Get in the lab, get your confidence back, and dedicate yourself and fall in love with the work, or let it play in your brain and believe what everybody's saying and let your production reflect where your mental is. And if your mental's down and your production's down, you got to figure out how to change your mental to change your production, because at that level, we knew he was talented enough.
Mm-hmm.
It was just about putting it together, getting mentally strong, and he took the hit and kept going, man. Shout out to you, Nick Richards.
Yeah, man. It's a beautiful story, man.
And talk about a little bit, L, with PSA, with Jason and Munch. You know, they've been putting out pros for years, man, and they got another one.
They got another one. And he repped PSA. He made it clear. Like I said, man, I was like, because I wasn't even watching. I was like doing something. And he was like, yo, shout out to Munch Williams, PSA. I said, this was the All-American game. So, you know, like I said, man, it goes back to what I love what you said. When you're dealing with children, you never have to force your hand on a child.
Right.
Children know who's been shooting with them in the gym, man. They know who really they feel in their heart got their best interests.
Right.
So you don't got to be out there running around saying, that's my kid. And, you know, I really feel, you know, when people do that, that's a knock to a parent.
Well, Al, that's a whole different ball of wax, because I think when people claim that, I think they have good intentions, right? But they want to just be able to get that notoriety, whether it be a sneaker contract or clout chasing or whatever it is. They want people to know I'm affiliated with that kid. I'm saying I'm doing the opposite. And people get on me sometime to be like, yo, E, you got to, you know, take pictures. You got to, you know what I mean? You got to let it be known what's going on out here in these streets.
I get on it.
Yeah, man. I just feel like when it comes
We
to.
have all the real crazy smoke, and then he'll have somebody like, nah, El, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the footage. What?
Right.
Humility, man.
I'm trying to get better at it, man. I'm trying to get better at it. All love goes to the kids. Elijah Hughes was in the park at City Legends, bro. Big shout out to Al Morales and the Northeast Lightning where he started at, bringing that kid down every Saturday and Sunday to Parkchester. It was getting it in against those Millbank teams, Whiz Kids teams, all of those teams. Yo, man, we got it in the pipeline, man. Whether it's Deshaun Davis, Posh Alexander, Adrian Griffin, these kids is next up, man. They got a shot.
Adrian's going. Sorry. Fits the script. He fits the bill.
Yo, man. I'm elated. And I got one thing to say. If you're a New Yorker, get with it, man. Like, let's stop downing ourselves, our programs, our kids, our trainers. Let's help.
Yeah,
let's support. Man. Let's unite. Let's band together. Your kids need training. I got a gym. Hit me. You know what I'm saying? We keeping it affordable during the pandemic. Let's support and come together, man. Like the Gaucho-Renz merger, I know everybody's up in arms, man, but it might work. Who knows? I get it.
It will work. It will work. We're going to speak it into existence.
I'm a Gaucho, man. I know people feel a certain type of way. Best franchise in New York City basketball history for AAU. They didn't need to merge. Maybe they did. We don't know what's going on with the Gauchos behind the scenes, with the Renz behind the scenes. Yo, man, let's give it a shot before we so quick to judge, man. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it ain't my cross to bear. And if you like it, I love it. That's how I feel, man. New York is back, man. I'm outside.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact.
Yo, lastly, let's talk about Obi Toppin and the Knicks. What do you think his impact is going to be out the gate, and what's his long-term projection for what his career would look like?
I think New York is about to actually start building now. I think Obi is a player that you can start to build a franchise around.
Wow, that's big.
One of the reasons why I say that is because if you ever look at Obi, once he got in Dayton, he got better every year. And one thing you can see is the humility in that kid. He's happy to be there, and he's hungry. When you got the 2 H's, man, listen, it's big things. Then, on top of it, he's got like kind of an unnatural talent in a sense. And what I mean by that is you could take a lot of the European players that are positionless players that have his body type, but they not a beast like him. Like he wants to bang it every time. It's just so, and that's what we need in New York. We need that to try to build off of, you know what I mean? And one thing I love when I sat there and I watched, and just being around you and just seeing how he is, but when I watched the NBA draft and the coaches get an opportunity to speak about the kids, it really made me feel good that he's a real people person. Like the coach was saying they would be doing camps and he was enjoying the camps more than the kids. We need that back in New York. We don't have that.
Okay, great. First of all, so well broken down, Al. You made some amazing points, man. And I agree with you 100%. Last point, Al. I know I said a minute ago, but last point. For those 7, man, lucky 7 is what I'm going to call them. Yo, pay it forward, bro. Be an inspiration to this next generation of kids. If you got guys you mentoring, the young boys, come around, show up, work out with them, connect with them, like their page, repost them. Let's get these young boys inspired, man, because a lot of the times you see guys in college that don't even reach out to the young high school dudes, right? Dudes in the NBA don't come and play in the Pro-Am no more. Like this, I think that's your responsibility as a New Yorker, man. Mark Jackson did it, Walter Berry did it, Chris Mullin did it, and on and on and on. They came back and they played, right? I get it. Some people don't want to play in Dykeman. You don't want to play in 55th. Yo, go to the Pro-Am, man. Let people see you. Let the New Yorkers who can't afford to go to Madison Square Garden get a chance to watch you rock out, Kimba, who does come back. I just think it's so important that these kids in New York get a chance to see their heroes. I saw a Magic Mel hooping, and I saw Kyrie at the game. You know what that does for that kid? You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is the people they look up to. Let's make that connection and bridge that gap. It's like they should be able to have a gym where, like, yo, we doing an elite showcase and we have 10 pros in the gym and 10 of the top high school and college kids. Exclusive run. Yo, come on, man. And big shout out to Spider Mitchell, man. New Yorker, giving it up, giving back. Yo, man. Now, I'm hyped right now, man. I'm telling you, bro, it ain't what people saying it is, man. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. You know, people, they want it to be better. It ain't that bad, man.
Well, it ain't crazy like it used to be. So just because there was a small drop-off, people made it seem like there was an extreme drop-off. No, it's not. We still producing Division I players every year to major colleges. We've been doing that for years. It's just we're not producing 6, 7 at a time like we used to. 2 out of St. Ray's, 1 out of this school, 2 from the public school. You know what I'm saying? All in the same year. We might not be doing it on that level, but at the end of the day, look at this year. You got Malachi going to Dayton. You got the other kid from you got kid going to Duke.
Yeah.
Kid going to Boston College.
Right.
Who else?
No, there's a bunch. We're gonna give you 2 or 3 a year. OSL. You already know it. You already know how that goes.
Come on, St. John's, 2 kids. How your backcourt get recruited to St. John's together though?
And we got 1 at Pitt.
Come on, man. We back, man.
We'll give you 3, 4 more this year. Don't worry about it.
It's obvious.
Listen, put us in the books for 5 a year. But anyway, man, big shout out to the team, Jerry Ice, D Jones, City Legends, bottom to the top. Who you shouting out, my brother?
Shout out to bottom to the top. Who? Shout out to my boy. Shout out to him. R&B Real Estate Solutions doing some big things. The Grid. You know what I mean? A lot of things coming, man. You know what I mean? But more importantly, I like to shout out my guy. Shout out to the man upstairs, man.
Yo, we out. Bottom to the top hoops, man. Appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe. Check it out, YouTube, Apple TV, Spotify, PCompTV.com.